Radical.
Welcome to part 2 of Radical Rapid Fire Cover Response for March the 27th through April the 2nd, 2022. Short comments, quick replies. The Winged Avenger. Radical Oprah. Tell you what, Winged Avenger. Okay? Look up under your seat right now. There's a little box with a bow on it. Don't open it yet. Everyone else listening, look up under your box right now. Okay? You have the box in your lap? In one of those boxes is a key to a used Pontiac G6 sedan. If your box has the key, then you get that car. Guess what? Winged Avenger, you get a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Dumas, you get a car. Terry W, you get a car. Everybody here gets a car. Dave Coleman. Somebody resold this shirt on eBay and I bought it for shits and giggles. Fortunately, it does not stink. But the collar is very yellow and there's visible stains all over it. But thank you for preserving the original description. Okay, really? Dave Coleman? Did you seriously buy that shirt I talked about a couple years ago? While they were trying to eBay up money for that movie, you know, the Game Chasers and whatnot, they had a shirt they put on auction and it had lots of signatures on it. Also had one from that Wario guy, by the way. So I don't know why this actually wasn't burned and whatnot. But yeah, did you get that? And it didn't stink? Okay, that's good. So they at least washed it. But it was a very soiled looking shirt, you know. Maybe it was a sea rag at one point used by one of the Game Chasers. I wouldn't pay for that, you know. I would, like I said, I would burn it. Albert Menendez. Location is everything in the restaurant business. Same goes for foot traffic at the flea market, apparently. Yeah, I'm trying to reserve some tables closer to the, you know, to the eating area. I'm trying to. But right now, it's not a great location. So I'm trying to like look and see where the most foot traffic goes. You know, you want a table near the most foot traffic. And in the restaurant business, I can imagine, yeah, location is everything. You know, if you're a restaurant in the middle of nowhere, some people might say, well, it's, you know, convenient to have a restaurant out here. There's not a whole lot of restaurants. But you want a restaurant in the middle of a section, you know, near something big, maybe like the movies or whatnot. Think about it. You know, people take, you know, there's a lot, okay, Radical Rapid Fire, I know. But yeah, it's very helpful to have your restaurant near a lot of locations, maybe some landmark locations, you know, very helpful. Maximus DM, possibly bog roll holder would sell better painted white. Yeah, thank you and others for telling me exactly what that was. I'm surprised I didn't notice that that front actually was for a toilet paper roll. And I'm not going to get a white can of paint and paint it white, but it probably would sell better painted white because it would, you know, mix in with bathrooms very well. I'm thinking about selling that with some rolls of toilet paper. Okay, maybe on there so people actually know what it is. Red Stripes 97, bringing Palpatine back was a huge mistake. Should just realized how bad episode 8 ruined things and made Kylo the main bad guy. Yeah, that would have worked on many levels. Making him the bad guy and, you know, having him come back and everything. I understand the story from a story standpoint, having him come back and have his redemption. But, you know, you make him the main bad guy and then that elevates his character. You have Rey fight against him and, you know, you could have a much better story between Kylo and Rey. You know, the fact that they just brought Palpatine into this was like a panic, just a panic move. You know, I mean, it's not that Palpatine wasn't, there wasn't aspects I liked about Palpatine in the movie, but it would have been a much better movie, I agree, if you just don't have Palpatine there. You know, build up Kylo to be the main bad guy. Yeah. Penguin Wizard, my favorite wrestling theme is Edge, but I heard that song before I started to get into it, funny enough. So did you hear the theme song? Not wrestling related. We talked about like stock music and whatnot. You don't mean his one song. On the stage, I see clearly. Is that his current song? You're talking about the older one, not even the Brood one, but you know, you think you know me. You think you know me. Something like that. You mean that one, right? Which is your favorite Edge song, by the way, anybody? The Brood, the first one, or the current? Arioka, Another awful moment out of many that broke Star Wars rules on Rise of Skywalker was when Han Solo appeared as a ghost, since he was never trained with the Force. Somebody described in a reply to this, I think, that actually wasn't Han, the ghost. It was actually Leia projecting Han, which kind of does make some sense because that didn't seem like Han Solo. The delivery, I don't know, something about it. He just seemed very feminine, right? So, I mean, I like that aspect of it, but I agree that really wasn't it. I mean, I could see both arguments about it being a good scene, I mean, it's not a good scene, no, but it making sense. We're talking about it making sense. I would have taken that right out of it. You know what I would have done, Arioka? Have Anakin Skywalker there. Because, Kylo looked up to Anakin, right? Would that have made more sense? Have actually, Darth Vader. Maybe, with the mask off and everything. That would have been a much better scene. And, like I said, it was kind of funny when he threw the lightsaber away. I mean, like, you threw it away, but I'm like, dude, you're probably going to need that. I mean, he's throwing the lightsaber away, then he's going into battle without the lightsaber. That wasn't really that smart. Dumez, in Hobbs and Shaw, The Rock held back a helicopter by a chain with just his huge arm. What reminded me of the scene, which made a whole lot more sense, was when Captain Freaking America held back a helicopter with his arm. I mean, it makes sense if you're Captain Freaking America or Spider-Man, but not The Rock. The Rock's so strong, he's been lifting weights. It's just freaking hilarious. Oh my goodness. Like, he's not a cyborg, not a superhuman being. He's just The Rock that's been lifting a lot of weights. Yeah, it's funny. Terry W. Haha, nice, but logic doesn't apply to Rise of the Skywalker. Well, some people might say, hey, it's not logical in these universes with midichlorians and the Force and lightsabers and stuff like that. But when it comes to Star Wars, there's a lot of people that pay attention to the lore of what can be done, what can't be done. And when something happens, like, was that one thing where they talked about how you take out a whole ship with a fleet? What's the terminology? I forget what they, when the ship exploded and they put a ship into hyperspeed to explode another ship. I forget the terminology, my apologies. But that kind of broke Star Wars. The fact that Force Ghost can now actually just touch things and lift things out of the water. There's a lot of things about this past trilogy that kind of broke a lot of Star Wars lore. MBK Silent. I wonder what custom emojis Rick would give us. A beggar holding out his hands possibly, or maybe Pepper the Cat. Well, it wouldn't make any sense for me to actually, have like beggar emojis, right? It would make zero sense. If I was to go down the dark path, to join the dark side and become an e-beggar, I don't know. I guess it would depend. Let's see. I mean, I would think about maybe like things that I love, I suppose. So maybe just Harry Trim, I suppose. Just Harry Trim. I would make an emoji just of, one of the things I love the most. Harry Trim. Or Shave Trim. Just Trim in general. Rune Mamba. Rick will add a join button as soon as Hancock's museum comes out. Okay, here's what I'm going to say, Rune Mamba. I am so definitively sure that there will be no John Hancock museum. I pledge right now, if there is actually a John Hancock video game museum, I will enable my join button. I will join the e-beggars. I will, 100%, if there's a John Hancock museum. Now, here's the thing. Has to be a legitimate John Hancock museum. I mean, like, completely John Hancock. There has to be John Hancock rides. I mean, it's not a theme park or whatever, but it has to have John Hancock's big handsome mug on the outside of that museum. John Hancock, maybe his friends, his buddies, Radical Reggie, Johnny, Scotty Riggs, have to have all of them there, but it has to be 100% the John Hancock Museum, titled the John Hancock Museum, a legitimate game museum. I don't mean like some outside shed, with games in it. No. It has to be a real legitimate John Hancock Museum. If that happens, I shall enable a join button.